Okay, so I was cut off in the video before this. I was talking about how women don't appreciate the spirit in me, and they can't differentiate between pure good and kind of world energy. Yes, it is a beta world energy. So we look at foundation of the word. We get found at Ion, Genesis 41:45 again. On is Heliopolis. Okay, so found at In, found at Ion, and also On, right? Who is On? And of course, there's different deities associated with On. There's Zeus, there's Helios, there's Menivis, the bull of Heliopolis, there's Atum, and there's Ra. And of course, there's the cat of Heliopolis, and in its true form, it is the leopard. There's also seems to be some sort of an attempt from Bastet and them to inject a cat in here. It's a very interesting idea, but certainly the cat by itself cannot destroy this in the divine kind of way. Okay, in a kind of personal way in the divine order, but it's lost in translation and limited artifacts and perhaps misinterpretation by the later dynasties, which is the logical assumption here. So we also must look at it in terms of fairy versus pharaoh. Okay, it goes back to the cartoon face people, sugary stuff, soda pop, and so on and so forth. Okay, and as I've been forced to resort to drinking just soda, it's one thing perhaps I haven't gone over enough. It's been part of what changes me. I've been made unhealthy. I can't consume water in its pure form because they're drugging it everywhere I go. And a lot of people don't understand nanotechnology. I don't really understand it to a large degree myself. I do understand it far more than enough to know that it's real and to mix it with what's going on. To know that, yes, they're drugging me just like they put gall and vinegar, in Psalms, and they gave Jesus vinegar and so on and so forth. Okay, so when we look at Psalms 19, it talks about the heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. It goes on to say in verse 4, in the heavens, God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, a champion, like a champion rejoicing to run his course, kind of like a victory lap after you've beat somebody. You run out and say, hey, I won the match, and so on and so forth. And we see this in various activities, in various forms. I describe it as beta forms, right? Olympic sports, right? Ice skating, and these aren't really, it's the difference between spar and sport, and then Spartan, right, where they try to kind of blur the line. So when we look at Luke's 4:24 through 30, which is how I started this video, this scripture, it talks about how he brings up Elijah and Elisha, and it has to do with Naaman and the widow. The widow basically didn't know if she had enough bread. She said she had a little flour. She was worried about her oil. And he said, give him this loaf of bread, and the flour will never run out. The oil will never run out. She does that, and she has faith, and the flour and the oil never run out. And this is symbolic of a lot of things. Bread, among other things, in the ancient world was symbolic of heart. So the spirit would never run out. The heart would never run out. And it also has to do with bread, right? You make this very dramatic decision for God. It's very telling about who you are. And as she breathes, the idea, as she raises her son, and so on and so forth, okay, that it continues and it never runs out in terms of her line. Okay, so when we look at 1 Kings, what is this? I think I have 1 Kings 17:7 through 6, and 2 Kings 5. Okay, so this is where he's referencing in Luke 4:24 through 30. So Elijah is the guy who killed the prophets of Baal. He called on God, and he did a miracle. Okay, and obviously the truth is kind of, this is more of a parable than a literal story, and the truth is concealed there. When we look at the voice of God, okay, it is Av, okay, Ka, V-O-I-C-E becomes A-V, we can add Av, okay, V-O-I-C-E. So we have the O, the I, and the E. So it's A-V-E, Ka, Av, Ka. All right. So when people are communicating with God, it's commune, I, Ka, tu, right? It is through the Spirit. It's a spiritual communication, just like in, what did I just say, Psalms 19, the heavens declare the glory of God. Okay, this is a communication, and there's a certain spiritual communication, like the sun. Oh man, I left that in the other damn room. Let me grab this real quickly. Why people are screwed in this world, because things like this happen as a result of their lack of obedience to God. Right? They serve the world. That's why it says you can't serve two masters, because you leave the master's son with his most important mission. Nothing else anyone else is doing is important. It doesn't matter. God doesn't care. He doesn't care if you get $1 million, you get $1 billion. Doesn't care if you feed your fucking kids. Okay, you're headed to hell. You're in a ship going to hell. So, you know, this is what happens when you put on a functionalist Masonic thong. This is what happens when you listen to the wrong people. You know, the Son of God can't finish his work because you're a little peasant kind of animal work. And this also goes back to animals. This is their language, mind you. Is this an African language where this wordplay? You know, of course, it's wordplay. They try to twist things. It goes back to the Greek interpreting, right? What new meaning do they give the words and when to kind of twist things? Magic card, bitch shit. Okay, animals. Animus, meaning spirit, and El animal. Their El is an animal, and this goes back to which one? They're talking about the Greeks, right? This animus word is made for the Greeks. Animos is made for the Greeks, and their weird deities, and the, you know, Dionysus riding the leopard, and the dolphin, and Bacchus, and all this, you know, goat leg, Pan, is the sickos. Okay. So when you look at their own wordplay, yes, they're animals. And yes, it's a pain in the ass. And I forgot where I put this thing. You know, there was something I was supposed to go over. And this is also a consequence, right? You know, it's stupid. Right? Women don't appreciate me because they can't see the spirit in me because they're beta. They're bred to be beta. You know, and beta again, bait A, bet A, alphabet. I mean, go on and on. It's fucking stupid. They literally choose magic card bitches that dabble in wordplay and illusion instead of the Son of God. There's no excuse for that. Let's also look at this in terms of cultural barriers. No matter where I go, people have beta barriers, right? The foundation, like I said earlier, found alpha shun, right? And found at ion, okay? Foundation, found at ion. When it comes to Heliopolis and Horus, son of Ra, okay, they shun this guy. So he says, where's this guy going to go? You know, go somewhere down south, a bunch of racist rednecks, a bunch of liberals who don't believe in God, a bunch of people in their church cultural barriers. These people don't believe in accepting God. They believe in listening to their church about what to do. It's stupid. You know, you can hit them with a fucking brick. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to change their mind. No matter, there's no way to wake them up, okay? They're stuck in this stupid kind of fanatically bred to be social norm fanatic type of state of mind that's unreasonable. Okay? People are unreasonable. They don't sense God. They don't have a moral direction. They're headed straight down. Not kind of down, they're headed straight down. Okay? And there's no reason with them. So no matter how you go, say, why is he making so much videos? You know, part of the reason why they want me to babble on, because when you tell the truth in a world full of people living a lie, it may as well be babble. Oh, that's a mystery. They're stupid. There's mist over ear eye, mystery, mist ear eye. So people can't see the truth. It's basically a bunch of bitches, okay? Look at it this way. Shaka Zulu, right? Imagine Shaka Zulu with moral grace. Go back and watch the BBC series on YouTube. Watch the clips. Watch whatever you can find. You can look up the Shaka Zulu and get his picture. Not the new, the kind of gay face Shaka Zulus they put out there, but the one from the BBC series, okay, in a very serious manner. Okay. Think of the world as a bunch of Elroy Jetsons, a bunch of weirdos, a bunch of Shaggy Doo motherfuckers. And the message, God is a warrior, Exodus, the Lord thy God is a warrior, Jeremiah, the Lord is with you like a mighty warrior, and on and on and on. So God is a warrior. Angels with spears, they made them plug-faced, sugar-faced, soda-faced angels, kind of bisexual, kind of pedophile, kind of face statues. Okay? And of course the Vatican has all kinds of satanic imagery, not just those pedophile-faced angels. Okay? So they acknowledge the spear, they acknowledge the sword, the spirit, the sword. They say, yes, this is the angle. They make it some kind of gay, kind of pink fanny pack, Daisy Duke wearing, kind of pink bunny slippers, weirdos. Okay. So this guy goes around the world, a bunch of airway Jetsons, a bunch of shaggies, a bunch of bearded ladies, a bunch of circus freaks, right? Focus versus circus. A bunch of circus freaks, a bunch of drug addicts, a bunch of bug-eyed weirdos, okay? And he's like, look, this is what God wants. He wants this kind of samurai times infinity loyalty, this sort of martial art loyalty, this honesty, the truth, the way, and they're all bitches, folks. A bunch of brutes who have plug faces too, a bunch of racist guys, a bunch of Klansmen, and the people that are from their cities who are basically like them. They grew up with them, they hung out with them. Just because they're not in the Klan doesn't mean they're not almost exactly like them. It's a spectrum. It's a spectrum of white denial, white brute kind of denial, white militia denial. I mean, you know the type, right? The bikers, the cops, the military, the fucking bodybuilders, the UFC fighters. Just a spectrum of knucklehead, beta obeying ninnies, right? No moral courage, no moral will, no moral toughness. There's no reasoning with them. Okay? You're saying this guy goes around, a bunch of guys like white supremacy, cross-eyed and shit, a bunch of drunk fucking weirdos, a bunch of football fan, knucklehead, pot-bellied idiots. White supremacy! He's like, no, just calm down, okay? God is not white. Humans haven't always even been white. White supremacy! It's just fucking stupid. A bunch of airway Jetsons, yeah, just, so to think, hey, why don't you wander and go where? To go to white racist Bruteville? Go to Fruitvale? Go where? Tell them what? Okay? Why should I take abuse and spend all kinds of money on hotels and so on and so forth? Go where they'll never give me a job. What for? My money will run out and I'll come back here as homeless and with nowhere to go. Okay? What good does that do me? I have to secure somewhere to go, right, before I go. Okay? Because you may as well say, go to Sodom or go to Mississippi in a Klan town. Because everywhere in America is like a variation of Sodom or a Klan town or both. Okay, America is white supremacy and a bunch of pluggers. Okay, with all due respect, a bunch of homosexual people. Okay, they're like, they pretend to be sincere so they can fuck you in the ass. Okay, that's the Democratic Party. A bunch of feminists and homosexuals. They don't believe in African masculinity. The right wing doesn't believe in African masculinity. When you say Hebrew is an Afro-Asiatic dialect, it goes over their head. How could that be? They don't understand. It is stupid to say, why don't you go somewhere else? Where? Where the fuck can a hero go in a world where everyone is rainbow or white supremacy or both? Okay? Or the people that serve them. No servant can be greater because when the Son of God comes, okay, it is like Elisha or Elijah. He overlooks all you people and looks to where he can go. And when you point this out, just like in Luke, 4, they get all pissed off and they run him out of town, as the saying goes. Obviously, I'm still here, blah, 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 right? But you can draw parallel. You can fill in the fucking blanks, okay? They run him out of town, okay? They try to kill him as a group. They tried to run him off a cliff. He walked through them. Why? Because he was a martial artist and they're stiff neck, stiff back, fixed position, followers of set reproduction. I can't grab him types. He's outmaneuvering them. Boom, 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 boom. Slap him across the head. Slap him in the head with a fucking rock. Slap him, push him out of the way. Jump over the mini-me. Woo! Dodge the brute. Dodge the fat guy. Okay? He's outmaneuvering him. Okay? What don't you get? It's literally a world full of just dumb fucks. Angels with spears, they're throwing rocks at Jesus. He's dodging. He's saying, Godspeed, fast. You should fast. And they're like, I don't get it. And it's a bunch of white supremacist knuckleheads, rich, poor, in between, and a bunch of fucking homosexuals. Your church isn't doing God's work. It's doing white supremacy or the rainbow, pagan twist. Either way, it's doing evil. Worldly cultures that are allowed. I mean, what don't you get? Why don't you why don't you go back to Africa? So your puppet fucking pussies can fucking kill me? What good is that going to do anybody? I mean, just a waste of time.